Hi, it's Cheryl. Welcome to Homeward Studio. For today's video, I have put together 25 of my favorite Valentine's crafts to share with you. And this is a long one, so I hope you enjoy it. And here's the first piece. This is a table topper or a centerpiece. And here's some things you're going to need. 2 hearts, any kind of hearts. They've been in my stash for a couple years and I just wanted to get rid of them. If you can find the hearts that are plain, the wood ones, I would pick those up instead. 2 pieces of scrapbook paper. I had these from a pack that I've had for probably a year or two. And I have 2 colors of roses. I have a really dark pink and then a medium pink here. Now this is just to, your style and what colors you like. So I picked up the scrapbook paper because I really loved it, and then the roses matched perfectly. And as well as this ribbon here from the Dollar Tree. It's just the lace ribbon and then the pearl ribbon in the color pink and white. And I have Waverly chalk plate in the color plaster. And I have this crate, and this is a smaller one from the Dollar Tree. Make sure that there's 2 slits in the top. Some of them don't have those in there, and you're going to need those. And some floral foam. And I have this tube from the wrapping paper. It's a smaller one, and I'll show you how we're going to use that in a little bit. So I wanted to get rid of these, and I took all the pieces off. Then I pulled the paper off. So this is a process. That's why I said I would use the plain wooden hearts if you can find them, or something even a little bit smaller. This is going to be on the inside, so I couldn't get all the paper off, so I just went ahead and painted one quick coat of the plaster chalk paint. And it's going to look terrible, but don't worry about it because it's going to be inside. You won't see it at all. And now I'm going to take this Eileen's tacky glue from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to put it all over here on both pieces on the opposite side, so the other side is painted. And then I have these junky brushes that I use to spread glues and stuff like that. So I just spread it, got it really good on the ends, and now I'm placing the paper. And I have this little roller from Hobby Lobby, I believe. Yeah, it was $9.99. I just got it, so I was super excited to use it. So I'm just rolling the paper down really well, especially on the edges. And now I have this Fisker's finger blade, and I'm just cutting off the edges. And then when you're done cutting all the edges off, I did sand it down a little bit to get rid of those rough edges. And now the paper wasn't quite as large as it should be, so I painted just a little bit of that plaster on the ends. You can't not even tell, just to hide the brown board. And now I'm putting 1 coat of the plaster on this crate, and so the painted part goes on the inside, and I put 1 inside each slat. And then I turned it upside down and I pushed those tips together, and I put a bunch of hot glue in there. Careful that it doesn't drip through if you make this project. And then I put a little clip there to hold it and let it sit until it's completely dry. And while that was drying, I took this little metallic white marker pen from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just coloring in the sides. It's a little trick that's quicker than painting them, I think, with the brush. And now I'm reinforcing the inside with some more hot glue. And now I have this little piece, and I'm using it because it was free. You could put a wood block in here if you want. Anything that will hold those 2 apart. And again, it just gives it a little bit more stability. And I'm reinforcing that and gluing that in with some hot glue on both sides really well. Now when that's dry, we're going to take some floral foam, and that is from the Dollar Tree. And I just kind of cut it I don't know, kind of into an angle, as you can see there, so it fits down and touches that tube, and that it doesn't you know, hang over. Normally I don't put glue on the foam itself, but in this case it was just easier, and it did work. It worked fine. It didn't melt it or anything. And then I'm gluing that in. And now I have my flowers. I believe I have 4 bunches, 2 of each, or maybe I have 6 of each. You can use however many you wanted. I wish I would have had cream color. I think that would have looked beautiful, especially with the paper, but I didn't. So that's why I chose like a dark pink and like a medium color pink. And I'm just putting them into the foam here. And first I'm using the dark pink, and then I'll put in the lighter pink. And hey, if you're a subscriber, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, because you are helping my channel grow. And if you're not a subscriber, consider subscribing. If you like simple DIYs, mostly Walmart, Dollar Tree stuff, a little bit of Hobby Lobby, but easy to find pieces, easy to make pieces. And some of these pieces like this, I love. I think it's beautiful. Even my husband's like, oh, that's the best piece yet. So now I cut out from the leftover scrapbook paper just a little piece and put it on the front there with the glue. And I have this pearl ribbon, and I'm just gonna glue the real large pearl on there with some hot glue. And then I put the white pearls on there, so the pink pearls and the white pearls. And I think I forgot to mention earlier, bring the flowers all the way down on the side to hide the foam, and then you can take the leaves from some of those flowers and glue them all the way down so you can't see the foam or the little cardboard tube. Now I have this lace, and I'm just angling the edges. Made a simple shoelace bow and glued it right up on top there, right on top of the pearls. And this is what it looks like, and I really like this piece. I think it's a great centerpiece. I'm trying to craft with what I have and not buy any more stuff because I have so much. So you'll need a mason jar and these heart picks. They're bigger than the other heart picks that they used to have. And the 3 ribbons that I used earlier, the pearl ribbon and the lace ribbon, and some Waverly chalk paint in the color plaster. And so I just removed all the pieces and pulled the paper. It came right off, and now I'm taking a blow dryer onto that metal piece. It came right off too, and then I scraped off all the excess glue that was on there. And then I got the top wet, and now I am just scraping it off. And with all the glue and everything, it takes a little bit of time, but it came right off pretty easy. And so that top was very clean. I made sure it was very clean, and I gave the entire piece, the front especially, 2 coats of Waverly paint, but the sides and the back and the top and the bottom, just 1 coat. And when that's dry, I went ahead and glued the piece back on, and I got a little piece of icky glue here, and I was trying to pick it off. And then I realized here that yes, metal is hot. So I took my little handy dandy scraper or spatula thing here from the Dollar Tree and pressed that on there. And now I'm taking these little hearts and I'm clipping them off, the stick off of it as close to the end as possible. And then I had to sand it down a little bit, and I got this acrylic paint in the color Pink Cadillac, and I'm just dabbing it on the bottom because it matched it perfectly. And I was wondering, as I was painting, Pink Cadillac, is that really the color of a pink Cadillac? It kind of looks like it. I don't know. I've seen them before. I don't know. Have you owned one? I don't know. I think they're kind of cool. Pink's my favorite color, but I don't know if I could drive a pink car. Although the Mary Kay pink cars are cute. Anyway, I'm babbling on. So But let me know if you own a pink Cadillac or if you have seen one. So anyway, I placed the little hearts here. And after I placed them and got them the way I liked them, then I just went ahead and glued them. And they're upside down, sideways, you know, all different ways, not just kind of uniform. And then I went ahead and glued this lace just below the metal piece here. And then I made a simple shoelace bow. And I glued it on top. And then I don't know what I'm putting, I think another bow or something on top of that. And then I put a pearl, like a little teeny pearl on top of that. I just had a pearl in my stash. And now I am just wrapping this pearl garland around there 2 times, the pink. And then I did a little sanding job on the sides and on the bottom just to rough it up a little bit. And that's it. Super simple, super quick, and here's what it looks like. Here's the first piece. This is a centerpiece or a table topper, and here are some items you're going to need. I have this tin from the Dollar Tree, and I have these picks from last year from the Dollar Tree. I think they're just like grass. And these I got from Temu, but I know you can get them from various stores, and I think the Dollar Tree has those. They're eucalyptus. I have the hearts from Dollar Tree. My Dollar Tree was out of moss, so I had to buy it from like Michael's or something, and I have that foam. I also have 3 packages you're going to need of these flowers if you're going to make this piece. And I was going to write a word on it, but I decided not to, so I didn't use those. I did use pearls. I did use a little wooden heart. Those are all from the Dollar Tree. I did not use those, the jewels. And here is some ribbon from the Dollar Tree. So I took the tin, and these felt flowers are 2 different sizes. So I just put a large one, hot glued it on, and then a small one next to it. And I did that all the way around this tin. Okay, I put the foam in there. I didn't show you. I popped it in there to make sure it fit, and it stuck. So that's what happened, but it's okay. It's all good. Won't come out. Didn't hot glue it, but it won't come out. So I just took the grass pieces, and I think I have 3 of them, and I just stuck them right down in the middle. Now, after I put in all the picks, and I put some heart picks in there, the eucalyptus around the perimeter, and I stuffed in some Spanish moss so you can't see, you know, the styrofoam in the bottom there. Now I'm just taking these pearls and I'm just gluing them right smack in the middle of every other flower. Mine are in the smaller, around the smaller flowers, or glued into the smaller flowers. And then I'm just taking this lace and I'm gluing it around the bottom. See, this is so easy. It took me about 4 minutes to film it. It took me probably even less to make it. So if you're wanting a little centerpiece, or, you know, something to put on a small table or something, this is it. This is your project. And then I just glued a little heart on there, and this is what it looks like on my buffet next to my candle. And here is the next project. This is probably, perhaps, one of my favorite gnomes ever. It's kind of like a Pippi Longstocking's gnome. But anyway, here's the things you're going to need. I have these socks from the Dollar Tree. They're kind of like a gray and a cream color. Now you can use just a regular cream color sock, but those were leg warmers. I got them from a local Dollar Tree. You'll need some red yarn and some red pipe cleaners, just 2 pipe cleaners. I have these little plastic booties from the Dollar Tree. They come in like a 6-pack, I believe. They come in pink and blue. It doesn't matter what color, because we're going to cover them up. And I have those little felt hearts, and I have these little stick-on hearts, all from the Dollar Tree. I have some polyfill and some rocks, and actually my polyfill is just old pillow stuffing. I have a bead for the nose and bead for the hands. And I have this little cup from a place set from the Dollar Tree. And I have some red ribbon. And some red felt, also from the Dollar Tree. I did not use that red and gray sock that's sitting on top there. So I've made a million gnomes, and so I'm going to just go through this really fast. You dump about 1/3 cup of rocks, and I just kind of go by weight and fill. And if I kind of bounce it on the table, and if it stands up, then I know it's ready. Then I take a bunch of polyfill, pillow stuffing, whatever you have, and I just stuff it as full as I want it to be. So there's no right or wrong. Just keep on stuffing it until you get it the way that you like it. And then when you get it as full as you like it, I just took a piece of yarn and tied it off. You won't see this yarn at all. And then I cut that top piece off, save that because we're going to use that for the arms in a little bit. And then I put a big glob of hot glue down in there to keep it together. Now I have this pair of leg warmers. I only used one, but like I said, you could even use a white sock. I had these from, like I said, a local dollar store around here. And I've had them for a while, so I kind of wanted to use it. That's going to be the gnome's hat, so I just put it on top. Made sure I lined up with the reinforced toe of the sock. You want to know where the front of the gnome is. Then I took these pipe cleaners, the red ones. I only needed 2 of them. I thought I was going to need 4, but I only need 2 because this is going to be the gnome's hair. And so I cut them in half. And then I took 2 of them and twisted them around each other. And now I'm going to take this red yarn and I'm going to cut a bunch of pieces that are longer by 2 inches than the pipe cleaner, because we're going to braid these. So I have 2 sets of 3. So now I'm going to take the pipe cleaner and I'm going to put it just right in the middle of one of the pieces of yarn. Not one, there's 3 in each group, I guess. Now I'm going to even them up on top and I'm going to braid them. So the pipe cleaner is just going to get in the way. And I goofed up, so that pipe cleaner popped out. So take 2, that's what I was saying. Anyway, what I did was, to prevent it from popping out and coming apart, is I tied a knot on the top and then I put them closer together and then I taped it, and now I'm able to braid it. So the pipe cleaner just gets in the way. And I braided these kind of tight. And then when I'm done, I just tied a double knot at the bottom. And I did that 2 times. And now I'm clipping off the ends. Not really close to the end, but you know, pretty close. You can see on the screen there, because that's going to be the bottom of her hair. Now we're going to make the little shoes, and I cut a square of this felt out. I cut 2 of them actually. And you're going to want it to be big enough where you pull it up in the front and up in the back and stuff it in the shoe. In here, front first, and then the back, and then the side, and then the side. And I try to get that gathered in there really tight. And if it's bulky, that's good, because it's going to stick in there better. And then I put like a ton of hot glue in there, and I did it to both of those. Put those aside. It's going to take a little while for those to dry. And now I just took that sock and cut off the edge to make it all even, and then I folded it in half. So now we have 2 squares. These are the arms. So I folded them in half, folded one up and then one down, pushed them together, and then hot glued them, and then clipped them. So up and then up. Or you just fold, you know, one into the middle, I guess is what I'm saying. And then hot glue and clip. So now we're going to work on the gnome's body. And I made sure I knew where that reinforced toe was. And because this is a female gnome, I wanted it to look like she had like a dress on, kind of. So I took this ribbon from the Dollar Tree, and I just ran it around the top part here. So that won't be part of the hat. So the nose will kind of sit on that part, and you'll see in a minute. And then I did the same thing to the bottom. I just ran a piece around the end, kind of like that's the bottom or the edge of the dress. Because the male gnomes, you know, the beard always goes over the front. And the female gnomes, especially when you're braiding their hair or putting them in ponytails, you have to make it look like the front is their clothing. And now I'm taking, sorry it's a little out of screen there, or a lot out of screen there for a second. I'm taking the extra ribbon that I have, and I'm just putting it around the hand, so it's like a little cuff. So it all matches. Kind of like this is a sweater dress. It's all one piece. And I try to make it so that the edge of the ribbon is the edge of the hand, is glued on the edge of the arm too. So now I take and find the center of that, and then I take the little wood bead and I put it in sideways, so the holes are sideways, and then I tuck it way down in there. Now you could cut out little itty bitty mittens out of the red felt if you wanted to. I've done stuff like that before too, but in this case I wanted hands because she's going to hold a cup of coffee. So now I take the hat, put it back on, and then I pull it all the way down in the back, all the way down to the ribbon, and then I hot glue it. But don't hot glue it anywhere else. I didn't really like the wood bead for the nose, so now I'm going to make one. I've made them a ton on my videos before, but I'm going to show you real quick. Take some polyfill or pillow stuffing, take a nylon, half of the nylon, cut off the top or the bottom, the reinforced toe, so you have 2 open ends. I take and I put a knot at one end, I roll that polyfill, I put the polyfill in there, and then I make sure I like how, you know, the size of the nose, and then I tie the other end, and then I tie both of them together. And then don't clip it all off, the extra, just a little bit, because we need that to adhere onto the sock. So I put the glue on the sock and then the nose in, and then I put the hat over the nose. So still we did not glue the hat down all the way, just in the back. So now I'm going to put the hair in, and then the seam on that arm goes toward the body on both sides, and the hair would go in front of the arm. And then I'm making sure that the hands are long enough to hold that coffee cup. So I pulled them down a little bit. And same thing on the other side, I'm just gluing the hair in. And now I'm twisting it up, kind of like Pippi Longstockings. You guys remember Pippi Longstockings? If you're young, you might not. But if you're older, you probably do. So now I just glued the entire hat down, and the braids in, and the arms, and the whole thing. And then I take this little coffee cup here, and I put the little sticker heart on there. And then I took a little bit of that polyfill to make it look like it's steamy. And this doesn't even have to be a cup of coffee. Maybe it's a cup of hot cocoa. But I put it in there to make it look like steam. And I thought the hat was too long, so I clipped a bunch of it off. And it seemed a little wonky, so I threw a little bit of polyfill in there because I didn't like how floppy it was. And then the polyfill also kind of hid the red that you could see through the hat, the top of the braid. So I kind of put the polyfill in front of the braid inside the hat. And then I just tied this quick around the hat. And now you could put, I'm showing you, you could put a rose on top. I thought that looked kind of cool, but I didn't. I decided to leave it plain and then put some ribbon around the top of the hat. Or not the top, the bottom. And then I wanted to make sure that I started in the back and then ended it in the back. And then I took these little felt pieces and I just stuck them right onto the hat. I think I put just 3 hearts on them. And these hearts, felt hearts, came in 3 different sizes, small, medium, and large. And I took a large one and I put it on her back. And then I put 2 in the front, kind of like they were buttons, but then the coffee cup kind of hides them a little bit. So I glued one hand on, and then you have to hold it for a while. And then I glued the other hand on. You gotta hold that because it takes a while. And now she's gonna sit. And so I glued those shoes on like she's sitting, and there she is. Here's the first piece, and here's some things you're going to need. Now I have these transfers, and I'll leave the information in the description box below, but the name of the company that I ordered them from is from Etsy, and it's called Timeless Designs. Time like the herb, Timeless Designs. And I can't say enough about those. You'll also need 3 wooden hearts, some wood glue. I have plaster and mineral chalk paint by Waverly. I have 3 of these square beads from the Dollar Tree, 3 strands. And also I just have a more of a rectangular sign from the Dollar Tree. This is from last summer, but they have a ton of these all the time. So I'm going to remove the hanger, and I'm also going to remove the sticker. And I had to take my blow dryer to the sticker, and I couldn't get all the glue off, so I had to sand it. But it worked out fine. And now I'm going to put 2 good coats of this Waverly plaster chalk paint on this board and let it dry between each coat. Now I'm going to paint the hearts in this mineral color. So always paint your pieces first for obvious reasons, so you can do other things while they're drying. And I painted the sides too of the hearts and of the sign. Now I put about 2 tablespoons of mineral chalk paint into a large Ziploc bag. And I took about 4 tablespoons of water approximately. I kind of just eyeballed it. You want this to be kind of soupy, not really, really thin, but a kind of a thicker soup, I guess, if that makes sense. And then I put the 4 strings of these square beads in the bag, minus the string. I removed the string first. And then just mix them around really good. And then I dumped them out on a piece of wax paper. If I had a box lid, I probably would have put them in the box lid instead, but I didn't have one. And now I'm separating them with paintbrush because they're wet, and when they dry they will stick together, and I didn't want that. But if you put them in a box lid, you can probably take a blow dryer or a heating tool and dry them that way, so they'll dry faster because they'll take a long time. Now I'm just going to determine what I'm going to cut out, what designs I'm going to cut out of these transfers, and where I'm going to put them on the heart. And I see a bird there, and if you know me, you know I love birds. And I want that whole entire bird, the words and the flower. And that was kind of difficult, but it worked out. Now I'm going to show you what not to do. Don't grab Sharpie and trace it, because no matter how careful you think you are, you're going to get the Sharpie on the wood. And I should have known that. I was trying to be careful, but that's okay because I just had to repaint it. And so these transfers, I just peeled the back off, and then once you put it down, it's stuck. So, you know, just make sure you got it in the right place. And then this tool came with it. It looks just like one of those thicker popsicle sticks. And you just, it's kind of like a Cricut if you have a Cricut, and if you don't, you just kind of rub that lightly against that and peel it off very carefully. And I just love this whole piece. I love how these turned out, and I love these transfers. Again, can't say enough about them. They're absolutely stunning. And they were a little bit more expensive if I didn't say. I think they were $9.99 or $12.99 for 3 pages, but they're kind of big. So I didn't think it was too bad. And this is what they all look like. And I would probably put a coat of a sealer, like a Mod Podge or something, to protect them when you're done. Now I'm putting all these beads, after they're dry, around the entire, it's not wood piece, this board here. And after I get them all on the way I want them, because I want to see how many I need and how to space them, I put wood glue under each one of them. Now I know this seems like it's going to take time, but it didn't take that much time. And the little holes in the beads I put sideways so you don't see them, except only on the corners. And then now I'm just going to hot glue my hearts down after I place them. And this was so easy. It was just time consuming painting everything and waiting for the paint to dry. And of course the beads too, but it was really, really simple to make, and I absolutely love this. Probably my favorite piece out of all 3 of these today. And here's a close-up. Here's a second DIY, and this is a wall hanger. And here's some things you're going to need. This wooden heart from the Dollar Tree. 3 smaller wooden hearts, and those are from the Dollar Tree also. This scarf. The hearts below that, the colored ones, I did not use those. I did use these little picks that say LOVE. And this is red pearl ribbon, and that's from the Dollar Tree. And this is apple barrel paint in the color white. And so I painted two coats of white on that and then let it dry. Now I take these hearts and I'm going to wrap the scarf material around them. So I just gathered a bunch, and I did not want to glue it on the front because I didn't want to be able to see the glue through there. I didn't want to mess with Mod Podge or anything, so I just gathered the material and pulled it really tight and hot glued it in the back. But I clipped off all the extra because I want the wood in the middle to show through, not really show through, just because I'm going to glue it onto the heart, and I want to put the wood on wood, not material on wood. I hope that makes sense. I think wood on wood sticks better than if you glue material and glue and wood. I think it would pull apart easier. So I did that to all three of them. And I think I just told you I put 2 coats of the white on that. And now I have these hanging off of the end just so slightly, just to give it some character. And I just put a ton of hot glue down there, and I do use Gorilla Glue. I think it works really, really well. And then this one I just glued on top. And so now I have this pearl ribbon from the Dollar Tree. I don't know if they have it this year, they had it last year, and I bought a ton of it, so I have a ton of it left. So I'm just gluing this around, but I'm only gluing the big pearls down with a little bit of the hot glue. And I don't like that pink color of those little styrofoam letters, so I'm taking this little dabby, spongy brush thing that you can get from the Dollar Tree. You can get them anywhere. And I am using this Deco Art acrylic paint called Smoke. And I only put 1 coat on, but the pink was kind of bleeding through, so I would probably put 2 coats on that. And I'm not putting the glue, the hot glue, on the styrofoam because it'll melt it. I'm kind of eyeballing it and gluing it onto, putting the glue onto the heart first, and then sticking the letters on there. And then I put the hanger back in, and that is it. Easy peasy. And this is a close-up. Hi, my name's Cheryl. Welcome to Homeridge Studio. Today I'm going to show you how to make this floral and also how to make this home sign. Super simple. Let's get started. So here are some picks that I got mostly from Hobby Lobby. You can get picks anywhere. Michael's, Hobby Lobby, Dollar Tree, let's see, Joann Fabrics. Also, there's Pit Berries. Those are from Hobby Lobby, but they do have the pink ones now at the Dollar Tree. This styrofoam foam heart, that was the Dollar Tree. Moss, any color from the Dollar Tree because it's going to be filler. And any sign that you want. This is just a leftover from Christmas. We're going to paint that. And I have some burlap underneath there, some kind of fancy burlap. You can use any kind of burlap. Scissors, antique Waverly wax, and chalk paint in any color that you like. This is plaster. And here I switched up the bottle of chalk paint. It's still chalk paint. It's called parchment. You're going to see in a second. I'm going to throw it out because it dried up. So I'm back to that plaster color. I store a lot of my paint and glues in a cabinet and then realized it was sitting on top of a heater and lost a whole bunch of glue and paint because of it. So be careful where you store your stuff. And never mind my bare feet there and my funky little LuLaRoe pants, but they're super comfortable. I'm super comfortable that way, and that's how I usually craft unless you're seeing my face. So anyway, I'm just going to paint this sign with the Waverly chalk paint in the color plaster, and then I do paint the sides too. And this is how it looks when it's done. I only put one coat on there. That's all you need, because you're going to take that Waverly wax and we are going to distress it, and we're going to make it look like shiplap. I didn't put a ruler down or anything because I didn't want it to be perfect, and I just kind of drew from one end to the other. And it looks a little dark right now, but we're gonna kind of blend that all in. I like to make the corners a little bit darker and the creases and the sides, so it looks like it was kind of meant to be. And this is just a piece of wet paper towel, and I'm kind of blending it in. And then I blended it in a little bit too much, so I'm adding some paint back in. So it looks like, you know, shiplap. Now we're going to take this heart, and I took a really sharp knife and a serrated knife, put a towel down so it doesn't slip and slide, and you don't obviously run your counter. I struggled with this. It took me a really long time. You have to go very, very slow so you don't cut yourself. I thought hopefully maybe like the pumpkins that this would be hollow. Not so. So I had to kind of score it, and it probably took me 20 minutes to cut it. But like again, I said you have to go really slow. Then I changed knives after I somewhat scored it, and it took me a while. I cut all that video out, but it's very messy, as you can see, but nothing that a vacuum cleaner won't pick up. And then I just kind of cleaned the ends off so I could make it flatter, because we're going to glue it on that sign. So I put the burlap down, and I don't remember where I got it from. I think I got it from Walmart. I love this burlap because it has like white, it almost looks like snow, but you can use regular burlap too. So I struggled with this for quite a while too, trying to pin it in with some floral wire, and the floral wire just wasn't sturdy enough. You could probably use other kinds of pins and whatnot. I just really didn't have anything on hand, and I decided that I was going to try to hot glue it. It's hard to hot glue on the styrofoam, but this worked. And I just had to keep on playing with it, and you know, folding it in and cutting it down and hot gluing it. And after you hot glue it, you have to really sit there. I take that little spatula also from the Dollar Tree and kind of press it on hold it for quite a while. So here's the end, and finally, yay, I'm done with that, and I glued it on. And now the fun part, to put in the flowers. And I love these florals. Like I said, they're from Hobby Lobby. They're like little white and pink roses and other types of flowers. They're beautiful. I got them on sale. And I just started putting the roses in first, kind of more toward the bottom. I don't know what these sprigs are, but I thought they were kind of cool. I have seen these at the Dollar Tree, but mine are from Hobby Lobby. They're a little bit more money. They're not as messy as a Dollar Tree. They hold together better. Put those just to give it some height and a little bit more width coming up the top and out the side. Now I'm filling it with some greenery, and I think it's boxwood, I think. And then these are pink daisies, and those are from the Dollar Tree. I just thought they were really pretty. And I'm just taking, you know, different kind of, I'm taking it out of the screen because I have to hold it up to my eyes to like really look at it. I'm just taking some of this moss, some big, thick, chunky pieces of moss, and I'm going to fill them in the side where you see that hole is right there. So a big chunky piece, put some hot glue down, and then kind of stuff it in so you can't see, you know, the inside or behind it. And I'm going to put some on top there, and I'm also going to put some on the other side. And you can see that heart isn't sitting perfectly flush against that board on both sides. We're going to take care of that with the rope. And I'm just going to hot glue the rope around the end there. And actually, I think it gives it more interest. I initially wasn't going to put anything around it, but I had to hide that hole. And then after I did that, I'm like, oh, you know, I kind of like that. So, and the rope is from the Dollar Tree also. And then I just put a dollop of hot glue on the top of the rope there, and then you take that spatula and you kind of smush it in. And there we go. We are all finished with that. Later on, or no, we're not finished because I am going to add a rope to hang it from the top. I suggest before you do this to take, you can either paint the back, or you can put another board on the back, glue it, or you can put some paper on the back of it to finish it if you're going to give it to someone or sell it. I should have done that first because I did that after I put the rope on, and that was kind of tricky. I had to make some extra cuts and whatnot. So anyway, when you do put this rope on, I only hot glued mine. Later I went in and put some E6000 on it because you're going to want it to be permanent. And then those little holes on top there, I'm just going to take some little beads that I have, and I'm going to glue them on sideways because they have holes in them. So you don't want to put the bead on top where you see the hole I'm showing you right there. now we are finished. And I hope you like this. I love it. I have it hanging on my wall and I can't believe that I made it. And you can too. And you don't need a heart. You can use anything. You can use any type of foam. You can use just burlap on a board. There's all kinds of different methods. Anyway, on to this project. This is a home sign. It's from the Dollar Tree. And that little heart is from the Dollar Tree. You can see the purple one up on top next to the white one there. They were just kind of tied together with a wire, and I just clipped one of them off. And this home sign is in pretty rough shape, so you're going to have to really do a good job sanding it down. It's kind of difficult with all the little crevices and everything. And I'm just taking that Waverly wax paint and staining it. And I probably shouldn't have stained the heart there, but I did. I wasn't thinking that I'm just going to stick the white heart right over it. This is such a simple project. I painted that, but you can see that those words are raised, and there's no way I could have put even, taken sandpaper to it and erased it. So I didn't want to see from the back the words or the color. So instead, I'm putting Mod Podge on this. And I didn't have an extra brush, so I'm using a paper towel, but I probably would use my finger or a brush instead of paper towel because it absorbs it. And I'm taking this craft paper and I'm just going to put it on the back of this. And just make sure after, you trim it up and cut it down that all the sides are Mod Podged tight so it seals. And then it's so simple. Just glue the heart on. That is it. This was the easiest project I think I've ever made in my life. And this doesn't have to be Valentine's Day, and neither does the floral previous to this. You can have this out all year. And I didn't like that hole on top, so I did what a lot of us do. I made a simple bow, a shoelace bow. Being said, here's the first project. This is a trio heart, and it's mostly Dollar Tree items except for the paint. And this is what you're going to need. 2 of these wooden hearts from the Dollar Tree. This is a heart that comes from a 4-piece piece item from the Dollar Tree. I didn't use those necklace pieces. This is some sheer ribbon, also from the Dollar Tree, and so are those letters. I did not use that key. And here is some roses from the Dollar Tree. And this paint, the Waverly ink, black and white chalk paint. And the red paint is called Imperial, and that's from Hobby Lobby. And that gold pen is also from the Dollar Tree. It is not the chalk pen. It is the marker. And I've used it a million times and I love it. Anyway, here I'm going around the first heart and I'm going down 1 inch and I'm putting little marks all around it so I can make a border. And now section by section, I'm just drawing the border around the heart. And now on the inside of the heart, I'm going to make a Mackenzie-Childs type piece. And this is vertical, and I had to go back in and redo it because I wasn't thinking. So now we're just going to make the checkerboard pattern in the middle. After you have that done, just take the black chalk paint, and I have an angled brush. And these angled brush, you can see that these are great. I think I got these at Walmart. I love these. The angles make it so easy to get into little corners. And this is real time because you're going to take your time with it. But I promise you, I don't really have a lot of patience. I really don't. But for some reason, I love doing these checkerboard patterns. And I love doing the Mackenzie-Childs pieces like this. So now I'm speeding it up a little bit. And you may want to get a smaller angled brush than what I had. I lost my smaller one. I don't know where it went, but it's easier. It goes quicker with a smaller one, especially on the little teeny triangles that I'm painting right there. So now it's all done. And now I did the black, and then after that I did the white. And it does not have to be perfect because we're going to outline it. Now I'm taking some white and I am like dry brushing it kind of on the black, just kind of pulling it down from the top to the bottom. And it's okay if you mess up a little bit because like I said, we're going to outline it in gold. Now I'm doing the same thing with the white, only I'm dry brushing black onto the white. And you take it from the top to the bottom. And that's what it looks like. And now I'm taking the gold marker and I'm going to outline the entire heart, but also I'm going to outline the checkers on the inside too. And go slow with this. Just take it like one square at a time. And that's what it looks like. Now we're going to take that chalk paint, and that's red from Hobby Lobby. I think I told you that earlier. It's called Imperial. And it's a really nice, pretty bright red. And I couldn't find the crimson from Walmart, so this is what I used. So that's what it looks like when it's done. And now we're going to do the exact opposite on the second wooden heart. And as you can see, I removed those hangers from that because it was easier to paint. And so the squares are going to be on the outside, as you can see in this picture. And so this is going to be a little bit trickier to paint. You're going to have to take your time, but believe me, if you like this, if you like the Mackenzie-Childs stuff, you know, it's going to be worth it. So the inside I'm painting with the red chalk paint, and I'm doing that first because it's easier, and I'm procrastinating doing the outside because it took a while, but it was fun. It is very calming to me. Just put on some music and grab yourself a cup of coffee, tea, water, whatever you drink, and just have fun and relax. It's very calming. Anyway, that's what it looks like, and you can see the one, it looks a little sloppy, but when you take the chalk, or the not chalk marker, the gold marker, and you outline it, it actually pulls it all together. And here's that little heart that I showed you earlier, and I'm painting it with the same white chalk paint, and I put 2 coats on that. And after that dries, we're going to take some black paint, the black paint that we used, and dip it in the black, and then just go around the edges, just so we're giving it a little bit of a dimension. And then I dry brush some on here, and I played with this back and forth, too much black, put on more white, kept doing it. Finally I got it to my liking. And excuse my daughter's feet in the corner there. It's hard. I film in my kitchen and people are always in and out and in and out. But anyway, I'm like, that's okay. I'm just going to film. So now, after those pieces are drying, I'm going to take the LOVE wood pieces and I'm going to paint them white. And while those are drying, we're going to take the red and they're just natural color beads from that beaded garland that I got from the Dollar Tree last year. You can take any color beads, red, white, pink, black. You can paint beads if they're not this color. I know that the Dollar Tree sells a ton of beads lately in all different colors. And I'm just putting some jute twine, 3 of them on the jute twine. So the red, the natural color, and the red on the top, and then I switched it up on the bottom. Natural color, red, natural color. And I'm just hot gluing the twine, or the jute, I mean, on there. And you could probably put like a piece of paper on top of those to hold it, to make it more permanent on top of the twine. I keep calling it twine, it's jute. Anyway, this is what it looks like when it is done. And now we're going to put LOVE on the bottom. And if you start in the middle and put the O and the V, then you can line up the L and the E. And then once you have it down, just pick it up, put some hot glue on it, and that's it. So now we're going to put a hanger on it. It's that sheer red ribbon from the Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to hot glue that onto the back. And you might want to put some paper or another ribbon to hold that in place, or you could staple it or glue it with E6000. These are the little roses from the Dollar Tree. They just came out with them here at mine, and I'm hiding those little holes. And now I'm making a bow for the center heart, and that's to hide the hole. If you don't want the roses and the ribbon, you can just put some wood glue in there, or yeah, you can put wood glue in there. And this is what it looks like hanging on my wall. Here's the next project. This is super simple. It's just a burlap heart with pit berries on it. So you take that heart from the Dollar Tree and some of this ribbon, and you can use any color you want, and some pit berries, any color that you want, whatever matches your home decor. And the pit berries, these I got from Hobby Lobby. The red and white ones I got from Michael's, and they were all on clearance, and I used coupons. I hardly ever pay full price for any of them. So we're taking this burlappy type type and we're just going to hot glue it all around the frame. This was super simple. This is at 8 times the speed because I know you probably know how to do this. And I started at the top because it's easier to hot glue it and crease it. And then when you get down to the point, I kind of pinched it in, and then I kind of pinched it in on top. You got to play with it a little bit so you don't see that, the wire below it. And then make sure when you glue it, and glue it periodically in the front or in the back, when you end the burlap, then what you're going to want to do is glue the last piece in the back and glue it well so it sticks. And there's my spatula. I found it. I lost it last video and I was going nuts. So I had to use my finger protectors, but I love that spatula. So now I'm just reinforcing it in the back. And here's the red pit berries that I'm going to use. Like I said, you can use any color. You could do a pink heart with the pink burlap, and you could do white pit berries or gold pit berries. That would be really pretty too. And basically, you know, this is like wire, so I'm just wrapping it around. I'm not doing anything, not tying it, but I do glue it at the end, and I'll show you. So now just in little areas, periodically, here and there, just put a little dot of hot glue just to keep those pit berries in place. I did it on the front and I did it on the back. And now we're just going to take that lacy ribbon from the Dollar Tree. And you can use any color ribbon, any type of ribbon that you like also. And I just made a hanger on the top and a simple shoelace bow and glued it right there. I wanted this to be super simple, and I made a short on it too. And oops, I guess I didn't put enough glue on it, but there we go. And this is what it looks like hanging on my wall. So this was so easy. I can't believe I made this in like 5 minutes. Well, okay, maybe 10 minutes. But it was super simple. And I'm getting a little goofy here with the video because I'm working with my editing software trying different things. So never mind that. This is the next project. And this is my inspiration. It's the 3 hearts from Michael's 1999. I did not buy that. I got it last season. I bought it. It was like $2 or something. Anyway, we're going to do it really cheap. These grape vine hearts are from the Dollar Tree, and you get 5 in a pack. Now, it's not as big as the Michael's piece, but the Michael's piece has 3 hearts on it, and this pack comes with 5. So you can use 5, but I thought 5 was a little bit too long for me, and so I did use 4 of them. And I was going to use the red pit berries, but I decided to use the white ones. Since I used red pit berries on my last project, I thought I would just kind of mix it up a little bit. And I'm just, because again, you know, it's wire, I'm just kind of twisting it around the bottom there. And then there's so much, it's so clunky and big. I'm just like, I don't know how I'm going to, you know, pull it through the center. So I decided to take the pit berries and wrap it around the heart like I'm doing right there, and then giving it about another 2 inches and then cutting that off. And now it's really easy to wrap it around. So you go in and around, out and around. And that's what one looks like, and I'll do the second one again. So see, I'm just taking it and making like a circle around it, adding on 2 inches, and then feeding it around. And now I'm taking twine and determine which side looks best. That's what I'm doing. And start in the back, because you're going to want the knot in the back. And I'm taking that jute and I'm just going to tie them together. Now, I tied these loosely. I would actually tie them probably a little bit tighter together. I thought I would like it if it was kind of hanging and flowing, but it just didn't. I don't know. It was kind of wonky. It's the only word that I can think of to use, and it was hard to get those pieces to, you know, sit one on top of the other straight. As you can see, I was kind of messing with it there a little bit. So what I did is I hot glued the twine onto each piece so it's stable and sturdy. And now I have that sheer ribbon again, and I do a double knot on the top on both sides. And then cut off the excess. And that's what it looks like so far. And now I have those roses again. Those are the little teeny ones from the Dollar Tree, and they have like a ton of silver glitter on them, but I thought they were pretty. And I'm just taking 3 white ones and I'm putting them in between each of the hearts. And this is what it looks like hanging on my wall. Again, it's not as big as the other one, but it's a little bit longer, and I kind of like it better. And it's super inexpensive to make, and I love it, and you can make it too. And here's some things you're going to need. I have this from the Dollar Tree Plus, this heart. It was $3. I have 5 packages of these wooden flowers. I have some paint and glitter glue, Waverly Plaster Chalk Paint. I have this pink acrylic paint. It's from the Dollar Tree. It's just the color pink. And then I have some gold glitter glue. I grabbed a bunch of ribbon. The only one that I use in this project is the gold cord. Now I took some of the plaster chalk paint and I put it in a baggie. And as you can see the consistency of it, it's not super soupy, but is definitely a little runny, but not super runny. Don't want it too thick because it takes forever for these flowers to dry. And I put them in the bag and I just shook them around until they were completely coated with the paint. This is the fastest way I know how to do this. Then I dumped them out in a box lid on a piece of wax paper, and I'm spreading them around so they don't touch each other, because when they dry they'll stick together. And then there was some that didn't have paint in the middle, and I just put a little bit of paint there. So while those are drying, I'm trying to get these staples out of this heart, and they were a bugger. I couldn't get them out. I even ruined my staple puller. So if you guys have an idea of how I can get these out other than trying to, pull them out, let me know, because I have no idea. I cut the canvas off, and then I just left the staples in the back. And you could probably, if you're going to make this and you can't get the staples out, put like a ribbon or a paper to hide that back. Now I'm just taking the Waverly chalk paint in the plaster, and I painted the outside, the inside, and the top of the heart. And now I'm taking the pink, and this should be a little bit soupier because this did take a long time to dry. And I'm dipping each flower in there, and then I'm turning it upside down. But I would definitely put some water in here, make it runnier so it dries quicker. It just took a long time, like I said. And I dipped all of the flowers in here. And then I put them upside down in that wrap so, it didn't stick. And I didn't really like the plaster on the back, so I'm kind of dry brushing some pink. I mixed the pink with white, and I'm putting a little bit on the back. Not a lot, just a little bit, just to give it more definition. And now when they're completely dry, I'm going to place them all around the heart the way that I'm going to glue them on. And I did this before I even painted anything, just so I knew how many packages of flowers I needed to paint, which was a good thing because, like I said, it took a long time for these to dry, but it was well worth it. And so now when I had them the way I wanted them, I'm just hot gluing them all the way around. And I have this gold, not ribbon, cording from Christmas time. It's kind of shiny, and I thought it was really pretty, and it matched really well. So I put that on as a hanger. And I thought it was a little plain, so I took my glitter glue in the color gold, and I just put it kind of heavily around the top and the outside and the inside of the flower, and it just made this piece pop. It's kind of hard to see in the film here, but it is just so pretty. And if you don't have glitter glue, you could put like Mod Podge on it and sprinkle some gold glitter in there, but I had this left. I've had it for years, so I just thought I'd use it. And here's a close-up of what that looks like. And here's the next project It's very, very simple. It's so easy, but I just think it's so elegant and so romantic, and it's a very quick project. So if you just want something little for Valentine's Day, pick up one of these boards here, or one of these canvases. It's 8 by 10. A larger one might be even nicer, but this was perfect for where I put it in my house. And I have the antique wax and the Waverly chalk paint and the color plaster. I have these ribbons from the Dollar Tree, the lace and then the pink velvet. And then I have one of these hearts. I know they have different hearts, but I chose the first one that I showed you. I'm just going to remove all of the packaging. And again, these little staples that are just, they're buggers. I don't know. They're so hard to get these out. And after that was done, I put 2 coats of the antique wax on the whole entire frame. The top, the bottom, the sides, and the inside. I wiped that off, and I actually put 2 coats on. So it was a little bit darker. You never know how these frames are going to stain. There's so many, imperfections in them. Then I painted the heart, and I did the same thing, put 2 coats on. I wanted it a little bit darker with the antique wax, wiped it off with a baby wipe, and then I took the plaster chalk paint, and I'm just heavily distressing the heart. And I'm also distressing the frame, just because I just think the stain just didn't look right, so I had to do something kind of to hide it, but I liked the way that it was distressed because it matched the heart then. Now I have these wood pieces, and I took one of those hearts and I painted that in the plaster also. I didn't show you that, but it was just a quick coat. And now I took this velvet ribbon, and I'm just gluing it on the back, and then I realized I wanted the lace on top. So I'm going to pull that back, and I'm going to glue the lace in there on both sides. I'm going to pull it kind of tight because I want this to lay right on top of the velvet. So I glued the lace on top of the pink velvet, and then I just glued this heart right on top, and then this little heart on top of that, kind of hiding the hole at the top of that heart. And now I just make a simple shoelace bow out of this Dollar Tree lace. I use this lace a lot. I love it. It just goes with so much. And I angled the ends on the bow, and I glued it up on top there. And then I got a little pearl. Dollar Tree sells bags of pearls. Glued a little pearl up there, and that is it. And here is a close-up. I did put that gold roping cord on top to hang it, and this was so simple, so quick, but yet I think it's just so elegant. It's just so pretty. Mackenzie-Childs inspired piece, and here are some of the things you're going to need. Now I had this board from last year, and I pulled off all the pieces so I can use them for another project. Any board would do. Matter of fact, it's better to get the plain ones, but I had these. So I had the red plastic hearts, and then I got some ribbon, black ribbon, real thin black ribbon, and then also that gold cord, which I seem to love. I have the spray paint, and then I have the Waverly plaster and the Waverly ink. Now the spray paint is just Rust-Oleum metallic, and that's all it said. It had no color on it. And of course you're gonna need some tape, a lot of tape, and one of those metallic gold pens that you can get at the Dollar Tree, but not the chalk pen. So I'm showing you these hearts here. We're gonna cut them, not cut them, we're gonna take we're just gonna use half of it, and don't worry about that little piece on top that I showed you because we're gonna cover that up. I removed all the pieces from this board, including the hanger, and I plastered or took some of that speckling, and I colored or covered up those holes there because we're not going to be using those holes to hang it. I'm going to put a different hanger on this, and now I'm just putting the tape down. Put 3 down, pull up the middle. Put 3 down, pull up the middle, go all the way down, and make sure that that tape is on really good. Now turn it sideways, and we're going to put 3 down again, pull up the middle, same thing, 3 down, and then pull the middle off, and then make sure the pieces that are down are stuck down really good. And now we're going to paint it with the white. And when it dries, we're going to pull off all of the tape. And that's what it looks like. Now we're going to cover up the white with the tape. And make sure it's stuck down really good, because after it has paint on it, sometimes it doesn't want to stick down. And I'm writing W for white because that's where I want to make sure that I paint the white so I don't mess up and paint white next to white. So just cover up the white, and then now we're doing the same thing. Put 3 pieces down and then pull the center up. So we're still using the white. And I'm just going ahead and painting all them white. Don't get a lot of paint on it either, because it'll bleed through. And if it bleeds through a little bit, it's probably going to. It's okay, because I'm going to show you, we're going to fix it. Now I'm covering up, we're just going to put, I'm going to cover up the white, because wherever the white is, or wherever the white is not, you know, we're going to put black down. So I did the same thing with the black. And you can freehand this too, it might be easier. I did a little bit of freehanding, but then I put the tape on it. It was just quicker. And now I'm dragging some black, ever so slightly, black paint through the white. And then I take the white and I drag it through the black. And that's what it looks like. And now every single square we are going to outline with that metallic pen. Every single one, even the top and the sides and the edges. And if there's any bleeding, this covers it right up so you can't see it. So I think that just looks so cool. It's so therapeutic doing this, it really is, especially when you're outlining all the squares. I enjoy doing that. I don't know why. And now, oh, I forgot to tell you, I spray painted those red hearts, half of them. Sorry about that. Ahead of time. That's the first thing you do, is do all your painting and your spray painting. First spray paint. Then while they were drying, I painted the board. And now I glued them on the board. And then I put the little teeny shoelace black ribbon on them. And that's it. So you'll need 2 placemats from the Dollar Tree, some polyfill or pillow stuffing, red felt, and some felt flowers. I have this sign from the Dollar Tree, this wood piece, heart, whatever it is, it's a heart, and I'm just tracing it onto the felt, and then I cut out that heart out of the felt. Now I'm folding this in half so I can find where the middle is. And then I'm going to place my heart right smack in the middle of the placemat. And now I'm hot gluing it all the way around the edge of the heart. You don't want to get it in the middle, especially if you're using the felt from the Dollar Tree, because their felt is very thin and you'll be able to see the glue through it. Anyway, after that, go ahead and glue 3 of the 4 sides. Put a generous amount of glue in there, and then go ahead and stuff it as full as you want. And now I'm putting these clips, also from the Dollar Tree, along the pillow here to hold it closed so I can glue it. So as you can see, I'm going to glue just the upper edge, and then I'm going to pull it, wait a second, and then run my fingers along it so it presses it together. Be careful that you do not burn your hands. They do have the finger protectors. So do that around the whole entire pillow. Well, not the whole pillow, just the bottom, because we glued the other ones. These are some felt roses from the Dollar Tree. 2 are big, 2 are small, and I just put 1 on each opposite corner. Now you can put whatever kind of ribbon you want in the middle here, or you can leave it plain if you want. You can put a flower in the middle. That would be pretty too. But I have this ribbon from the Dollar Tree and I thought that would be pretty, and I just hot glued it on. And voila, here is the pillow. Quick and easy. All these are really quick and easy, so don't blink. Number 2. This is actually a thrifted vase that I got at a local thrift store for like $1, and I love the color pink. It is my favorite color. I picked up a couple of them, but you can use any color that you want. These are pearls from the Dollar Tree, or I don't know what they are, like a ribbon, pearl ribbon or something. Anyway, they're very pretty. And then these florals are from the Dollar Tree. So the idea here is if you get a colored jar, just make sure that the flowers kind of match the jar. And there were 2 bundles, and I just zip tied them together. I have some moss and some foam. I didn't use the foam because I'm not going to sell this. I'm going to put it on my table. So I just put some glue in there, put some moss in there, and put the bundle of roses in there. And now I'm going to take these pearls and I'm just going to hot glue them around probably 3 or 4 times. I think I wrapped it around, but you can wrap it around once if you like. You can wrap it around, however many times that you like, in any color. And you know what else would be pretty? If you used a white vase, you could put red roses in there, and you could put the red pearls around it. That would be really pretty. Or you could do it with pink too. And here's what that vase looks like next to a candle and a picture frame that we're going to be making in this video. DIY number 3. Grab one of these signs or wood pieces from the Dollar Tree, some heart grapevine miniature wreaths, some wood letters, and we're going to spell the word home, or you could put welcome, love, whatever you want on your sign. We're going to paint it with some antique wax. We'll need some pit berries and some ribbon of your choice. So go ahead and paint your letters with the antique wax, And paint the sides too, but you don't need to paint the back. And then I'm just going to take a baby wipe and rub all of that off. And now while that's drying, we're going to take one of these hearts and we're just going to hot glue it onto the front. And obviously I'm taking the hanger off that, but keep that hanger because we're going to put it back on. And I thought it would be kind of cute. You could put a picture in that little heart. Now I'm spelling the word home. Now I'm drawing with an ink pen, but you should draw with pencil, like a squiggly little line from the bottom of the heart all the way to the O in home. Now I use my scissors to cut that, and I probably shouldn't have because that will dull your scissors, it will ruin them. But I did, and I guess I was too lazy to go and get my clippers. Shame on me, but well, my scissors are ruined from doing stuff like that. It's not funny because they were not cheap, but they were my favorite scissors. They're good scissors. Okay, enough about the scissors. So now I just made a squiggly line, and just like that, Pitberry is coming right out of the O, and I just hot glued it where the Pitberries are, so where it touches this sign. And then I put the hanger back in, but I just kept looking at it thinking, you know, it looks kind of boring and it is missing something. And so I just took 2 roses, white roses, and put them on the top and on the bottom, like here it is hanging on my wall. And DIY number 4, grab a wood round from the Dollar Tree, grab a fancy heart from the Dollar Tree. This is from Hobby Lobby. I got it last year. It was $3.99, but I'm sure I paid like at least 50% off. Got some the antique wax again, and the chalk paint and plaster, and some ribbon of your choice for the hanger. And we're going to need baby wipes too. So remove the hanger, and then go ahead and paint the round. I painted both sides with the antique wax. I didn't like using the baby wipe as I've seen some people do it. I'd rather just brush it on and then wipe it off with the baby wipe. So now that's going to dry, and we're going to take the plaster chalk paint. As you can see, mine is kind of dried up, and I'm going to tell you what happened in a second, but we're going to paint this heart with that. I had to add some water in that. So I have a cabinet that I keep all of my painting supplies and glues and all that in, and the cabinet is narrow but tall, and I did not realize it, but it was on top of a heater vent. Our heater vents are in the floor here. And I lost some glues, some paints, and you know, this stuff is kind of pricey, and I was really bummed out about it, but I was able to salvage some of them, and this was one of them. I just added water to it, and it worked out fine. And so I went ahead and just painted the front of this, and the paint that kind of got like globbed on in the inside of those little hearts in the middle, I took a toothpick and I kind of cleaned it up there. That's what I was showing you. And now I'm just going to put some of this lace that is from the Dollar Tree on the back. And that's going to be the hanger. And then I'm just going to reinforce it with another piece of lace. And now we're going to go ahead and glue this heart onto the front of the wood round, and we are going to position it so it covers up those 2 holes on the top. And that's it. I thought this was super simple and super pretty, just Victorian almost looking. And this is what it looks like on my wall. And I added a little red rose. DIY number 5 and the final DIY. This is a plastic blue picture frame from the Dollar Tree. And this is some pink chalk paint. I think it's called ballet slipper. We need some Mod Podge. And go ahead and open up that frame. And I didn't use those flowers. I was going to, but I changed my mind. And remove everything from the picture frame. And we're going to go ahead and put a good thick coat of Mod Podge onto the front and the sides and the inside of that frame. And we're doing this to have so the chalk paint adheres to it. And then go ahead and paint 2 coats of the chalk paint. I must have lost the footage. And then another coat of Mod Podge on the top of that to protect it. These I got from a thrift store. They were $1.99 and there's a ton of them in here. And so I decided that I was going to say a piece of my heart. And that's what I wanted to glue on there. I was going to do a cricket, but I didn't end up doing the cricket. I just thought it would be too small, weeding and everything. So I glued the heart on there and some lips on there, and that was a picture of my kids. I can put a picture in there. You can put a rose, one of those grapevine hearts. I think a picture would be absolutely adorable in here. And I'm sorry about that light shining in there. Let me show you better what it looks like. Basket. Not a basket, it's a gift tin. So you need some moss. These are white rose petals from the Dollar Tree. And this is all from the Dollar Tree. A tin, any color you want. A couple of these gnomes. These are the styrofoam hearts on a stick. Some Valentine's ribbon. These pieces are wood pieces from the Dollar Tree. I just painted them red. And some baby's breath, or any kind of flowers that you'd like. I'm just taking some tissue paper and I'm going to put it down in the bottom of that tin, and now I'm going to put some floral foam in there. And just take these petals and overlapping them, hot glue them all the way around the bottom, and then start with the second layer. I think there's 4 layers. And as you can see, I'm finishing this up. And it's going to come up over the top. And the handle should be in the front. And I'm throwing some hot glue down there and some of this moss. I like the green color for this DIY because it kind of looks like grass a little bit. And now I measured the gnome because I want him, and I say him because he's going to be the male gnome, sticking up about 3 inches from the bottom. And I'm cutting the beard down into 2 pieces because I want this to be a female gnome. And I'm just taking some of this jute and making a bow on both sides. And then another little shoelace bow I'm tying here. And we're just going to hot glue that on her hat. And I have some buttons, and I'm just going to hot glue a little button on top of that bow. And I want her to be just a little bit shorter than the male gnome. So I measured it out, and I'm just going to pop it in there. And now another shoelace bow with the Dollar Tree ribbon. And that little kiss me sign, gluing that on there, and the lips next to it. And now these little Valentines, the styrofoam hearts, and these are the red ones, sparkly red ones. I put a couple in the front, 1 in the back. And now some baby's breath. We're gonna pop a couple pieces in there, all around it, on the sides, in the front, and the back. And voila, quick, simple, easy, and inexpensive, all from the Dollar Tree. It's a great gift to give the loved one. The second DIY, I like to call this my botanical heart garden. I don't know why, but this is just what it reminds me of, is like a botanical garden, I guess. So this is a wood round from the Dollar Tree, and I went ahead and painted that with the, I'm getting ahead of myself, with the antique wax. You'll also need a heart, or any shape really if you want, of the tin pieces, some moss, some flowers of your choice, some pit berries, and these flowers, I use them a lot. I really love these from the Dollar Tree, and I thought these butterflies were beautiful. So we're going to take that antique wax and we're going to paint the wood round on both sides. And then I wiped it off with a baby wipe. And I'm just bending this tin to make sure that, you know, it sticks and it lays somewhat flat as I can get it onto the wood piece. It's very hot when you touch it after you glue it down. So I glued it in the middle, and then I glued it around the sides afterwards. And now I'm just taking this moss, and it's just going to take a while. You're just going to layer it around, hot glue it, keep hot gluing, keep layering it wherever there's a hole. You know, in the beginning you can make it a little bit more sparse, because at the end we're going to fill it in. And so now take the florals of your choice. These are from the Dollar Tree. These are the pink ones. I don't know what they're called. And that's okay if they don't stick right now, because I'm going to show you how you can get them to stick later. You can put a little clamp in them. But right now we're just building it up, and then at the end we'll make sure that it's all nice and stuck down. And I just I didn't make a circle, just make it look kind of more natural, you know, forming somewhat of a organic circle around it. And now I'm taking these flowers and I'm going to place them. And then after I place them and I get them how I like it, then I go ahead and hot glue all of them down. And now I'm putting some greenery that came off that same pick. And I'm just sporadically putting a piece here and there. Some are sticking up, some are down, some are sideways, some overlap on the metal heart. And these are the baby's breath. And I'm just hot gluing them here and there and everywhere. And that's what that looks like. Just build up the entire piece. And now I think I'm going to use those white pit berries, and that was kind of difficult to put them on because, you know, you have all that moss and all those flowers, and it wasn't sticking because of the moss on the bottom. So it's probably best to put the moss on sparsely first, and then you can always glue more moss in at the end. But here I just it was hard to get this stuck on there, like I said, so I just cut kind of like a big circle and then glued it around and then clamped it down. And that's what you can do with those long flowery pink stems too. And they stayed perfectly well. And so now I have these butterflies. And I have some ribbon. I don't know where I got this from. I think it's the Dollar Tree, but I'm making just a simple little bowl as I showed you here. Super easy, super simple. I like the bigger, thicker one. This didn't have wire in it either, so which I think is fine because it just makes it look a little bit more, I don't know, feminine, vintage, flowery. I don't know what the word is, but I thought it worked well. And now I'm going to dovetail the ends after I clip off the excess string there. And choose the better side and go ahead and glue that on, and that hides those two little holes up there on the top of that tin heart. And I just kind of glued that on the side there. then go ahead, place your butterfly where you want it and glue that on. And then you can take the string that you cut off from the beginning, or jute twine, or however you want, and go ahead and put it back, or you can glue it on the back. And that's what it looks like. DIY number 3. This is just a really simple heart ornament. So you take a wooden heart. I think I got that one at Michael's for like 49 cents, but they have them at the Dollar Tree too. And we need some antique wax, some flowers if you like. This is from a calendar from the Dollar Tree. Any picture will do, and some lace ribbon. And go ahead and antique the, and Mod Podge too. And go ahead and paint that, the front and the back. And then as you can see, I'm wiping it off with a baby wipe. And I cut out that little flower. Or that little sign there, or not sign, that little piece of paper that has a flower heart on it and it says love. I shouldn't have cut it out. I probably should have made it a circle, but it works. So I put Mod Podge down first on the heart, and then I went ahead and let it dry a little bit, not much. Then I put the decal on it. It's not a decal, it's a piece of paper. And then I Mod Podged on top of it. And I hope that makes sense. I kind of sped up this video because I have 6 DIYs in here and I wanted it to be not a very, very long video. So that's what it looks like after I distressed it with the white chalk paint and the antique. And see, there's different calendar pieces there from the Dollar Tree calendar that you can use. You don't have to use the one that I used. And then I thought it would be really pretty to put a ribbon, the lace ribbon from the Dollar Tree on that too, but I left the jute on mine because it was stapled on actually, and I didn't want to remove the staple. Or you can put a bow on top of it too with that, and that would look nice. DIY number 4. This is a super simple, don't blink, heart wreath. The beaded garland wreath. And so we're going to need these hearts. We're going to need some of these flowers, the foam flowers from the Dollar Tree, and the beaded garland. And the wooden hearts are from the Dollar Tree, and then the ribbon is from the Dollar Tree too, the mesh and the ribbon. And I just placed my hearts the way I wanted them. And 2 are red and 2 are pink. And you can use any color, you can paint them. If your color is yellow, paint them yellow. You know, if you like just the natural wood, paint them, stain them, or leave them natural color. And I just glued these on. Like I said, this is easy. And then glued the flowers on there. And then I cut just, I think that's about 6 to 8 inches of that mesh. And I think it's like 3 inches on the ribbon. It's the velvet ribbon from the Dollar Tree. Just take some jute or string, tie it off, hot glue it up there on the top where that metal piece is to hide that metal piece. And I'm showing you different ideas. I'm sorry, I'm losing my voice. My allergies are killing me today. And go ahead and glue whichever piece that you want. You can glue a button, a bow on top of that, or whatever. And so that's what that one looks like. And stay around because at the end I'm going to reveal it again for you, just like I did in the beginning. So now, the next DIY. Take some cardboard and cut out 3 hearts. I use this for spray paint, that's why it's silver. It was like a Costco Jif, box that I grabbed to bring my stuff home in. You know how they don't have bags at Costco. And I went ahead, and then after I cut out the hearts, I cut out a long piece. I think it was like 15 inches long. I showed you just prior to this on my little Cricut measuring thing. And then I cut out an arrow. It was a triangle with kind of a half triangle at the bottom, so you could make a diamond and then cut off the bottom of the diamond. And then just kind of a little square for the end. And now I'm going to paint it silver so we don't see the cardboard through it. And I would do it on both sides. For the purpose of this video, I did not do it on both sides. And go ahead and let that dry. And when that's dry, we can take our cardboard hearts and take some yarn and go ahead, and I know you've probably seen this in many other videos, and oh, and this is called Cupid's arrow, by the way. And we're going to wrap the yarn. I have 3 different colors of yarn around these hearts. So I had light pink, medium pink, and dark pink, as you can see there. And now I'm going to take this yarn, and it's all from the Dollar Tree again, and go ahead, and I'll show you the easiest way here. As you can see, it was kind of wonky, hard to you know, tie it around. And then finally I'm like, oh hey, I'll just roll it like this, and roll it and push it down, roll it and push it down, and that's what it looks like. And then I'm hot gluing the end on there, and then the little arrow on the front, I hot glued it, but I also reinforced it with tape. And now I'm going the opposite direction with the same yarn, and I'm just going to cover up the whole end of the arrow here. I should say the entire end of the arrow, and then just trim it off. And that's what that looks like. And now we're just going to wind around a couple of times just to give it some definition, the arrow with the I don't know what you would call it, the piece that you would hold, like the wood piece. I think you know what I'm saying. I don't know what the proper terms are to use for this. And just hot glue the end. So there's, you can see the difference. And now these are white feathers. Now I know that you can get them at Michael's and Hobby Lobby, Joann's. I had to order mine through Amazon. They were not very expensive. I used these in like 3 crafts already, and I have a huge bag full, so they're very inexpensive. Michael's didn't have them. Here they were sold out, so that's why I got them from Amazon. And then just keep on building that up, so it's kind of like the fluffy end of an arrow. And now I'm trying to figure out how I want to place these. And I just hot glue that down. If you have really thin, what do you call it, yarn, I would actually double it up, because this was really thin. It kept breaking on me, so I finally just doubled it up, hot glued it on the back. Did that to all 3 of them, and then tied it up to, you know, around the top. And you could hot glue it, you don't have to tie it, either or. And I'm just going to show you different ideas. You can put pearls on them, you can put rhinestones on them. You know, the Dollar Tree has tons of different beads and stickers and wood pieces. This is one way. I thought that was okay. I ended up putting ribbon down the center from the top to the bottom, and that's what that looks like. And that was hanging on my wall. DIY number 6. We're going to make a gift bag, and this time without the gnomes. So I love this velvet ribbon from the Dollar Tree. You need a box, some rhinestones, and some flowers. If you want it to look nicer, go ahead, buy flowers from Hobby Lobby or, you know, whatever craft stores by you. But go ahead and take that box, clip the ribbon off, and as I'm doing really quick here for you, I'm just hot gluing this velvet ribbon. And they have different colors too, by the way. They have black, would be very elegant, with white rhinestones and red roses. Oh, that would be so beautiful. This is pink, just because pink's my favorite color, and so that's what I'm using. And these fit perfectly, 2 on the front, 2 on the back, and 1 on each side. And I showed you there, you could even use the ribbon that's like, that looks like faux fur. That would be really elegant too. And I'm just folding it in on the top, as you can see there, and then clipping it with those little clips there. And then hot glue it all down. Try not to get the glue on the velvet, because you can't get it off and it does show. And I just left those on their plastic sticker and went ahead and hot glued them all the way around. Now if you want to make it permanent, you can put foam in there, and you do need some moss. These are the Dollar Tree flowers, roses. I have the pink and the white here, and this is a trick. If you don't want to use the foam, you just bend that and pop them in there, and they stick really, really well. But these now are from Hobby Lobby. You know, I'm just showing you different ideas of what you can put on the front here. And back to the flowers again are from Hobby Lobby. They're just prettier. So I pop them in there, and I pop some moss in there. And then a little pink sign, wooden sign from the Dollar Tree that says love, and a heart on top of that. And that's it. It's a quick, simple little gift box. And here is the reveal. These are some other pieces that I've done this year and last year, with the exception of that little gnome. I thought he was cute. I just bought him from the Dollar Tree because, you know, I like gnomes and pink. But there's the ornament, and there's the wreath around that heart, and there's the botanical garden and the gift box and the gnome gift container, and that's it. Thanks for watching Homeridge Studio. Love you guys. Have a great, blessed week. I'll see you soon. Bye.